My name is DoctorPentakill and welcome to my beginner's guide. Today I'm going to be going through all the little details you need to know about when getting started with Enlisted. Let's get into it. All right, here we are on the main game screen for Enlisted, and when you first start, it's going to want you to do the tutorial. So let's go through all the different game modes that we have. Tutorial, it gets you familiar with the controls and it'll make you more comfortable with playing the game and maneuvering throughout the maps. The practice mode, this is great because you can go in and you can test late game weaponry, stuff you don't have unlocked yet or access to yet, so you can see what's coming, or even just go ahead and polish up some of your skills with some weapons that you already have. These are the two main game modes for Enlisted: squads and lone fighters. All right, the squads game mode. This is the main game mode in which players fight using squads of soldiers. Each player controls one soldier in the squad and the AI controls the rest. Now you can swap between any one of these soldiers at any time and use their unique abilities. It's a great mechanic for strategizing and learning to outplay your opponents. Keeping your squad safe is very essential to success, and using their individual talents to succeed on the battlefield is key, and we'll be getting into a little bit more about that in another tutorial. Lone fighters. This is a game mode in which players fight using only one soldier at a time without AI soldiers in their squad. So you just pick and choose which soldier you spawn in with at the beginning, run in, and do your best. If you die, that's it. You'll have to spawn in again with a new soldier from a different squad. You can also in this game mode spawn in on friendly allies, which you cannot do in squads. This game mode is also in development to become more hardcore. You won't be able to mark enemies. There will be no map. There will be friendly fire. So this particular mode is going to be more of a simulation style battle, which you'll really have to have sharp senses for if you want to succeed. Okay, so after you've completed the tutorial, you won't have access to lone fighters at the beginning. You'll have to unlock that by playing squads. So once you select squads, it's going to ask you to pick a campaign. Then you're going to go ahead and pick a campaign. And then once you pick a campaign, it's going to ask you to pick which side you want to fight for, Axis or Allies. At this point, it doesn't really matter which side you pick. You can pick either side because you can change it anytime. So don't worry too much about that. You can also switch campaigns at any time. If you're tired of playing the invasion of Normandy, you can go ahead and play Moscow. If you're tired of playing that, you can go ahead and play the Battle of Berlin. One thing to note about the Battle of Berlin, if you want to progress in it, you have to pay $50 in order to get access to it. However, you can play it for free without progression if you want to check it out and see if you want to buy into that early beta. All right, that's the game modes. The soldiers tab, this is where you manage all of your soldiers. This is where you can change their guns, their loadout, and even swap between different vehicles. So let's go ahead and manage some soldiers just to give you an idea. So when you're playing Enlisted, you will have soldiers that will be maxed out on stars. And so the basic idea behind Enlisted is swapping in new soldiers with the soldiers that are already at max level, and then sending those max level units to the academy, which we'll be getting into in a minute. So in here, you'll be swapping between soldiers very often. So let's go ahead and swap, let's say, a sniper. This sniper here, Albert, he isn't max level yet, but let's say he is, and I want to swap him in with another sniper. Now this is important to pay attention to their tier, and we'll talk about tiers in a little bit. This is a tier 2 soldier. If I want to swap him, I can swap him with any soldier. You see right here, this is a tier 3 sniper, and I also have some tier 1 snipers. I can swap any sniper I want, but if you swap the same tier for tier, it'll give the option to swap all of their equipment as well, which is extremely helpful when leveling up and swapping in units. So let's say I want to swap this guy here. You can see right here, he's a tier 2 and this guy's a tier 2. So if when I swap tier for tier, it's going to ask me if I want to swap the soldier's equipment as well. So then you can say yes. So then they will swap everything and you don't have to change over all their weapons and gear. However, let's go ahead and swap the other guy back. Again, we're going to swap gear. Now, let's say I want to swap him with a different tier. Oh, here we go. We got Ralph over here. He's only a tier 1, but you can still upgrade tier 1 soldiers to tier 2 soldiers, and I'm going to show you that in the academy. So when I swap him, you'll notice that he doesn't swap any gear. He just comes in essentially naked, and you have to reorganize his gear there. So what you can do is, this is the soldier I took out. You can go ahead and remove unnecessary equipment, and it'll strip them down to base gear. Now you can go back into Ralph up here and start selecting the gear that you want for him. And you're going to have to do this when you're swapping out different tiers of troops. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the gun that he had. And pro tip, don't forget you can double click them in. A lot of people are sitting there wasting their time dragging it over. Boring. Don't have a boring life. have a boring salad. I think that's how it goes. Take the FG42 and double click it. Now you can see here he has other slots available to him. Backpacks, and we're going to get into the types of backpacks when we go into logistics. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and equip him with some gear. Hit him with that large ammo pouch. Double click. Hit him with that sidearm. None available. Hit him with the grenade. Double click. We're going to get into the different types of grenades in logistics too. Any mines? Nothing. Medkit? Slap it on there. Double click. Boom. Now your soldier is equipped and ready for battle. If I don't have a sidearm, you can unlock them in logistics or swap them in from other soldiers. Pro tip, guys, another big pro tip: when you first unlock your plane squad, the guy in there is going to have a pistol. Go ahead and unequip it. Pilots don't need pistols. They always go on a one-way trip, and that's 6 feet under. So they don't need handguns currently in the game. They will be eventually incorporating parachutes, but not currently. So don't worry about them having guns. You can take them off and put them on a soldier. Also the same for tankers. They don't necessarily need sidearms. They usually die before they get out of the tank, but occasionally they do get out, so it is nice to have a gun on them, but I don't prioritize them with guns. So that's kind of how you manage your soldiers. So a quick rundown is get new soldiers from logistics, which we're going to go over in a minute, slap them in the squad, get them experienced up so they have stars, and then send them to the academy and combine them to make higher level stars soldiers, and we're going to be getting into that as well in a minute. All right, so let's look at the campaign tab. How do you decide which campaign you want to start with? Well, it's all personal preference. Which vehicles and weapons appeal to you the most on the axis? Do you want to be able to play with an MP40? Do you want to play with an MG32? Do you like their bombers? Do you like their fighter planes? Go ahead and pick Axis. Or do you like the Allies? Do you want to play with the P38? Do you want to unlock a Winchester shotgun? Each side has their own unique weapons and vehicles. So that's basically all you have to do to decide which campaign you want to play. Up top, you're going to see this is your experience bar. As you play and level up, you're going to be unlocking each particular item available to you. All right, let's get into upgrades, logistics, and academy. They all kind of fit together, so I'm going to be explaining them all together in one big lump. The first thing we're going to look at is upgrades. I do have a detailed video on perks and upgrades, so I'll give you a link to that. So I will just be kind of glossing over generally what you will be finding in the upgrades tab. So the upgrades tab is what you go into to upgrade your squads and the units' capabilities within the squads and their weaponry. So squads and upgrades. This pertains to the entire squad getting experience. So you can see right here, this squad is level 10, and every time you level up, you get a squad point. And you take that squad point and you pick one of these different upgrades. Okay, and these squad points, you can put them into squad upgrades, personnel upgrades, or workshop upgrades. And I'll just tell you that you want to worry about workshop upgrades last. Don't worry about them in the beginning. Not really important. Definitely want to upgrade the squad upgrades first, and then get into some personnel upgrades, and then finish with the workshop upgrades. Quick recommendation, go for the XP. Just go down the middle in the squad upgrades and get all the XP unlocked first, and then branch out into the different aspects of these trees. In the squad upgrades tree, this is where you can customize how you want your squad to be. For example, as you can see, I'm leveling up this squad, and I didn't go straight down to get all the XP because I really wanted to have access to another assaulter and another engineer in the squad. But now I will be going down this whole tree and making sure I get all the XP, because that allows me to get more squad points faster. And the faster you get your squad points, the faster you can unlock everything in all of these trees. So that's why the XP is most important. Now, as you can see here, you get 3 options. When you get 3 options, you can only choose one. So choose carefully. However, you can get an order for upgrade change through the Battle Pass rewards. So if you decide in the future you want to change, you can go ahead and use one of those and change it, but there's not a lot of them, so choose carefully. Just save them for now, I would recommend, until you really know what you want. Personnel upgrades coming down here. This is where it'll give you the ability to change your 2-star soldier into 3-star soldiers, 4-star soldiers, etc. You can unlock the sidearm in there for that particular unit. You can also unlock a backpack or a secondary weapon slot. I personally recommend backpacks, but I'm sure there is an argument for getting a secondary weapon. Okay, and in the workshop upgrades, this is where you get the ability to upgrade your rifles or whatever particular weapon. Each squad's workshop upgrades will pertain to their class of weapon. For example, this is an assaulter squad, so as you can see here, this is where I level up the ability to increase the M3 submachine gun to a 2-star and a 3-star and a 4-star, and that's it. this particular gun can only go up to a 4-star. Okay, so everything right here in the upgrades tab is allowing me to be able to upgrade the M3 submachine gun. As you can see here, it'll give you a larger disassemble bonus, and this pertains to upgrading your guns. Again, you can check out the perks and upgrades video that I've made for more details on that. Okay, but in short, when you disassemble the gun, you get parts. This will give you more parts. Okay, and this will also make it cheaper to use those parts to increase the gun. And as you can see down here, this particular area of the workshop upgrades is for upgrading the M3A1 submachine gun. So that's your workshop tabs, and I recommend doing that at the end because it's most important to get your squad customized and then work on upgrading your guns within the squad, because having that XP unlocked allows you to get more squad points very fast. All right, now let's get into logistics and academy. Okay, these kind of go hand in hand. Logistics is where you get more weapons, troops, and equipment. All right, so let's say I have all my soldiers maxed out in here and I need to get some new fresh soldiers into my squad for leveling. Okay, so where I go for that is logistics. So if I need more troops, I'm going to go to random troop reinforcements. Random troops reinforcements gives you a soldier of tier 1 to 5, and there's the list right there of all the soldiers that I can get from a random troop reinforcement. So let's just click on that once. Okay, and it'll cost me 1 bronze troop order. So I can get 100. Currently, I can get 143 troop reinforcements. Currently, this is the only thing that uses bronze troop orders, so you can go ahead and spend these as much as you want unless you're saving them up for another campaign. Now, if you want a specific troop, that's where you use your silver troop orders. So using your silver troop orders allows you to get specific troops that you are looking for, but they are a little more hard to come by. So you want to use them carefully. You want to use them very specifically if there's something you want to upgrade and you're just not getting them in the random troop reinforcements. That's where you go in and use your silver troop orders. Now, if you do get tier 1 troops, you can combine them with tier 2s to make tier 2s. So tier 1s are still valuable in that regard. So now that we've gotten some more soldiers from the random troop reinforcements, that's where we can go ahead and manage them and swap them in and get them experience. Now, once you have the soldiers leveled up to their max level, that's when you can start to send them into the academy. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. When you're managing your soldiers, as you can see here, this guy, I can give him 2 perks. As you can see right here, the star is flashing, and I have the upgrade to give him 2 perks. But I don't have to give him those perks in order to upgrade them. So if you know you're just going to be swapping him out for a new soldier, you don't have to assign those perks in order to upgrade them. As long as the star is flashing, you can go ahead and upgrade them. So I don't generally assign the perks because I'm constantly swapping soldiers in and out, because I'm constantly sending them to academy, because I'm constantly trying to upgrade my units. And that's what this game is really all about, constantly upgrading your units. So you want to be really efficient about this so you don't waste your time. So not assigning these perks, if you know you're going to be swapping that soldier out, is key. But if I know I'm going to be using the soldier like Heinzie over here, I'm going to go ahead and assign all his perks. Let's get into some more logistics before we head to the academy. All right, one thing to note about the silver orders is that they do give you a chance at higher quality soldiers. As you can see here, a soldier of tier 2 to 5 can be obtained, and here only a soldier of tier 1 to 5 can be obtained in the random. So one thing to keep in mind, if you really want a soldier to get leveled up quickly and get a tier 5 of a particular type of soldier, that's when you can use your silver troop orders to get higher tiers faster. Okay, let's get into the weapons delivery. Weapons delivery is very similar to troop delivery, where you can get random weapons delivered to you, but if you want specific weapons for specific types of units, you can go into the different categories and grab those: rifles, heavy weapons, and assault weapons. Now, one thing to note here is the bronze orders that you use for weapons delivery can also be used in equipment delivery. So bronze weapon orders are actually really important in this game because they kind of serve a dual role, whereas the bronze troop orders, they only have one role, and that's getting more troops. So you do have to be a little more careful on what you're choosing with your bronze orders, because you might put yourself in a spot where you have to grind some more to get more orders. So as you can see here, a large ammo pouch down the road is going to cost you 4 bronze weapon orders. Explosion packs are going to be costing you 2, and these are very very important. So keep that in mind, that you're not using all your bronze weapon orders to get weapons delivered to you. But when you're getting more troop reinforcements, you're generally going to need more weapons deliveries. So that's why these two things kind of work together, and more equipment deliveries. When you get new troops, that means you're going to need new weapons and new equipment. So keep that in mind. And that mostly pertains to when you start upgrading your squad, because you're going to be unlocking squad size increases, which means you're going to need more troops, which means you're going to need more weapons and stuff for them. Let's get into that academy. So the academy, this is where some people get confused, and this is where you upgrade your troops from 1-star to 2-star, and from 2-star to 3-star, etc. So in the academy, you can see here on the left side all the different types of troops that you have to upgrade. Here we are upgrading, and there's a few things I'm going to teach you about upgrading your units that you may not be aware of. At a base level, as you can see here, this is the reserve on this top side, and down here, these are the soldiers assigned to squads. The reserve is generally where you take your troops out of for upgrading, but you can take soldiers out of the squad. Now, if that squad falls below the minimum requirement, it's going to ask you to fill one in from the reserve. So here's a good example. I have a tier 2 engineer, 3-star, tier 1 engineer, 3-star, and you can see here I haven't filled in the last star because it's not necessary in order to upgrade them, and I have a tier 1 3-star as well. So the most important thing about upgrading is the first unit you put in for upgrade, that's the unit that's coming out, okay? So this is how we can get rid of these tier 1 soldiers and combine them to make them a tier 2. So as you see, I put my tier 2 in first, boom, boom, and they're all the same rank. Now it's going to upgrade into a tier 4. And as you can see, once I hit train, it's going to show you the training results. It's going to be a tier 2 engineer, okay? And for whatever reason, whenever you hit train, the guy that you put in first moves to the bottom. So just keep that in mind, but that doesn't mean this guy's coming out. That means this guy's coming out. So when this is done in 2 hours, Frank Esch is coming out as a 4-star tier 2 soldier. So I'm just going to cancel for that for a minute. And I want to show you another thing that you may not know about upgrading troops. So let's say you have a lot of snipers and you don't play with a lot of snipers. They're just kind of sitting there, but you want to get rid of them, but you play with, say, assaulters a lot. I really want to upgrade my assaulters. You can actually mix and match. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in a tier 2 2-star assaulter, another tier 1 assaulter, and then I'm going to go back into the sniper category and I'm going to grab a tier 3 2-star. So the training results, you have a 66% chance to get an assaulter out of this combination. So if I hit start training, you don't know what the outcome is going to be, because it can be the assaulter or it can be the sniper, but I do believe that if you put 2 of 1 soldier in, you will be guaranteed to get that type out. Now I could be wrong here, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, but I believe that is how it works. All right, so now that we're done with the academy, let's go over premium. A lot of people are confused between battle pass and premium and what does what. Right here, this is the premium account, okay? Now you have different purchase options here. The more time you buy, the cheaper it is. As you can see, you get different discounts for the amount of time that you purchase for premium. And what does premium do? 100% XP. So you get double XP, which helps you progress through the game a lot faster and get into that juicy end game material. Okay, you also get 2 extra squads in battle. You get an extra infantry squad and an extra vehicle squad. So you can see over here, down here in the battle squads tab, this is where you can swap in and out the different types of squads that you have. So because I have premium, I can put in an extra squad here and an extra vehicle here, because typically you're only allowed 1 type of vehicle, but because I have premium, I can have 2 types of vehicle and an extra squad. However, I did also purchase up, as you can see here, you can buy even more slots for squads. And I think the first time you buy one, it's only $5, but if you want to buy more, it gets more expensive, as you can see. But you don't really need that many different types of units. It's just, if you like a lot of variety, it's your choice, but you don't really need it, and it doesn't really give you an advantage. All right, so faster academy training. Let me show you that. If I select the engineer and I throw these guys in, you can see that it takes 2 hours for this squad to train. However, without it, it would cost me 4 hours. Plus 100 soldier reserve size. Let me show you that. Managing soldiers right here up at the top. You can see my reserve is 186 out of 220. Without it, I only have 120. So that means that I can't have as many soldiers waiting in the reserve to be upgraded, which means you'll have to send more soldiers to the rear, which means it'll cost you more troop orders in order to upgrade your troops in the long run. So having a larger soldier reserve size is very handy. let's talk about the battle pass and tasks right here. In order to unlock these extra rewards in the battle pass, you need to complete tasks to get one of these unlocked. If you don't have the elite battle pass, then you can only get one of these rewards per day. However, if you do have it, you can actually get 3 per day, which allows you to go down here and get all of these unlocked a lot easier. Now, the battle pass lasts 60 days. So that means if you don't have it, you can only get all of these things up to 60 days once. And that means you're also going to have to play every single day for 60 days in order to get it. But if you do have it, you can get 3 per day, which means you can finish it early. And when you finish it early, then you just keep looping these last 4 over and over again. And you can really start to cash in on silver weapon orders and troop orders down here. So it's kind of handy to have the battle pass unlocked. Not necessary. Everything just speeds up the grind. Now, how do you get weapon orders and troop orders? Now, you get those from participating in battle. It alternates between weapon and troop orders. Every 3,000 experience that you get from completing a battle, you'll get a weapon order or a troop order back and forth. And those are bronze orders. You can't get silver orders for participating in battle, but you can get silver orders through the battle pass and through battle tasks. And also, I have actually already completed this, but there are achievements in the game, and you'll have an achievement list right around here. If you click on that achievement list, actually I have an image here. Here is a list of the achievements that you can get, and when you complete these, you get extra silver weapon orders and extra silver troop orders in the game. That is the achievements. There are currently 29 achievements in the game, but it looks like there's going to be a lot more. And if you're wondering how I got to this particular page, I'm going to show you that right down here. That is in the contact section. So you can actually compare achievements with people that are on your friends list. For example, if I right click their name, you can compare achievements, and that'll open up that page. But the biggest thing about the battle pass that you want is these golden weapon orders. You can only get them here or completing all the achievements. If you complete all 29 achievements, you get another golden troop order. And let me show you what these are about. So the golden orders, if you go into logistics, you can see here, this particular gun is going to cost me 1 golden order. As you can see here, there is a troop or a gun that you can get with a golden weapon order. The troop is a fully upgraded soldier that you can get and throw it into your squad. Each campaign has a different golden troop or golden weapon order. So I recommend waiting until you really know what you want, because you don't get many of these orders. So you want to save them for exactly what you want to get. I personally recommend the M1903 Springfield with the Peterson device over all of the other golden weapon orders, and you can go ahead into the campaigns and look at them. As for the troop, it doesn't matter. You can go ahead and get whichever troop you want for whichever campaign you like to have a tier 5 soldier in. As you can see here, Heinz Coleman, he has this decoration right here. I want to go over one more thing about the soldiers and a quick touch on the perks. I do already have an upgrades and perk video out, so you can check that out. But once your soldier has all his perks picked, you can actually change them. As you can see here, I have 12 retraining points. So if there's a perk that I have in here that I don't like, I could just click on it and it'll say, are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Boom. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to give you the perk that you have, and then it's going to give you 2 other options. So then you can go ahead and change different perks and customize your soldier exactly what you want. So eventually, once your soldier's tier 5 and he has max perk points and whatnot, then you can get exactly what you want in your loadout. So you don't have to worry about it too much here. Now, there is one other thing. This is a pro tip. This is a big brain thing that you guys are only having privy to watching the most experienced enlisted YouTuber right here, guys. This is some big brain stuff that I was pondering. When your soldier becomes 4 stars, this is where you have to make a decision. Once you get 3 4-star soldiers, you can upgrade him to a 5-star soldier. But if you're a 4-star soldier, you have to think, do I want to combine all of these soldiers that I worked so hard to make into a tier 1 soldier? Or do I want to wait and combine it with the tier 2 soldier so he can become a 5-star tier 2 soldier? So that's something to keep in mind when you get to a 4-star soldier. Also, if you get a task that's difficult to complete, or you just don't want to try to complete it, like kill 50 enemies with a mortar, you can go ahead and change the battle task to get replaced by a new one. I also wanted to let you guys know what these different backpacks do. Backpacks are specifically for adding more medical kits or repair kits to your troop. Grenade pouches allow you to have more grenades on your soldier, and ammo pouches increase the amount of clips your soldier has. Sending troops to the rear. If you find you have too many pilots or snipers or mortarmen that you do not want and they're filling up your reserve, you can go ahead and send them to the rear, which means you essentially just delete that unit. However, any weapons he has on him will be sent into your inventory, and you can do that right here. Okay, one last tip about tankers. Whoever's in the driver position, you want to make sure that he has the perks that allow him to control the tank better, like 50% speed of using brake and 90% speed of the gear shift, things like that. So make sure whoever's in their position has the best perks for that position. You can also get perks specific to the gunner, which gives him proficiency in using the top gun if the tank has one. Improved targeting skill of a tank gun. It's only for the gunner perk. So make sure you have your aces in your places when it comes to your tank. Thank you for watching my beginner's guide, and I hope you're feeling a lot more comfortable with Enlisted. If you have any other questions, come visit me on my stream, twitch.tv/DoctorPentakill. I stream Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 p.m. PST. See you there.